Life can get quite boring at times, especially when you're stuck in a boring routine with nothing new to spice things up a little bit. It starts to feel like time has expanded and slowed down so much that it starts driving you crazy. However, there's a lot we can do to keep that from happening to us, and we'll be showing you how some people manage to beat the monotony and regular routine. We've gathered for you some hidden gems found on the internet. We have to warn you though, you wouldn't believe these things actually happened if we hadn't had the video evidence to support our claims. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. There's quite a few human beings out there who are either born with or have acquired the ability to do extraordinary things, but even they have their limits. Humans are not capable of outperforming their physiological and anatomical abilities, but somehow this guy has managed to prove that wrong. It's people like him who make us all look like lazy people full of lame excuses. We can guarantee that not a single person amongst you guys is capable of carrying an entire horse on their shoulders like this guy, no matter how strong you claim to be. It's just impossible to even imagine, but the footage clearly shows this man carrying a brown, beautiful beast on his back. Any theories on how he manages to do that? Maybe he's a superhero pretending to be a countryside farmer to conceal his true identity. Fishing is considered a relaxing pastime, often used as a means of meditation and side activity for those looking to do some self-reflection. Fishing is like art. It requires patience, love, dedication and intricate reflexes to be truly enjoyed. But look at these people who decided to give it a try in an all-new way. We can safely say there's nothing relaxing about this. It's basically like fighting in a boxing match, but you don't have the hands to defend yourself. Also, we don't see any fish getting caught in this net, so why waste all the energy? Multitasking is no easy feat to perform. Most people can't find it in themselves to juggle multiple tasks at a time, and even the ones who can do it can't manage to be efficient. However, once in a blue moon you find a person who just amazes you by their ability of multitasking. For instance, take this guy, who was talking on the phone at a game and effortlessly managed to catch the ball coming in his direction like it was a piece of paper. You almost miss seeing him do it in real time and notice that he never even looks at the ball. His eyes are fixed ahead. This should definitely go on the big screen in the stadium. This is a matter of common sense. We all know that it's vital to learn how to drive before getting behind the wheel and actually driving a vehicle out in the open, and especially if that vehicle is worth more than $200,000. Why would anyone take the risk of driving it without being skilled? With such an expensive car, you don't want to get in and then discover that you just can't drive on a whim, like this guy, who ended up crashing that beautiful car in the window pane, causing double the damage. He probably won't be able to afford driving lessons after paying up the fine for all the damage he caused. Pushka. The extra excitement of watching live sports can be attributed to the surprise factor. You never know what might happen next, but sometimes these surprises get out of hand. Mostly the surprise is because the competitors make the game-changing moves and not because of camera crew members nearly causing a major accident. Marcel Hirscher had to face this situation in his path, but luckily for both of them, it was him, since no one else would have been able to do this fast enough and dodge it in time. It might have caused a serious accident. Good for him, it didn't even slow him down. Some people have an innate ability to thrive under pressure. Nothing can faze them. These are the kids who end up topping all the exams and winning at all the extracurriculars because they know how to handle pressure like pros. Well, this guy is on a different level of stress-free. Anyone would be scared to death if part of a house collapsed exactly beside them and crushed the car they were walking past. But not this guy. He didn't mind at all, only stopping for a mere second to make sure there's not another one coming, and then he just walked on his way. His life must be so easy. We'd like to take some stress management lessons from him. Most live TV segments are presented from the safe confines of the studio, and presenters don't have to worry about their safety. In fact, all they have to worry about is embarrassing themselves in front of millions of live viewers by saying or doing something silly. But this guy didn't have the security of the studio to back him up, as he decided to do this news segment from a missile launching area. Kudos to him and his camera crew for being so brave. Most of us would agree that we wouldn't dare go this close to a missile station. Felling trees is a highly underappreciated and quite dangerous job because naturally trees don't cooperate when they're being cut down. This guy, however, managed to catch a tree fall so neatly that it looks as if it was fake. Look at how he watches it land and bounce back to stand straight up on the ground. Maybe this tree wasn't upset at being cut down, or maybe it was just trying to replant itself in a sly manner. We wonder how long it stayed like that in one place. Athletes are known for having a sharp gaze. After all, they have to scout out the competitors who might steal their lead. Look at this girl, however, who was so ahead in the game than all the others, there was no need to look back or even think back. But she was in for a total surprise when this adorable dog decided he was going to give her a tough competition. Turns out even though she was far ahead, she didn't stand a chance against this funny little guy who was just too motivated to win the race at any cost. We're sure the crowd was vouching for him too. Being a live TV reporter, and especially one that works field jobs, is not a safe task. These reporters have to be prepared for all sorts of circumstances. No one knows what might unfold when you're on the streets with a camera. Anything is possible. Just look at this reporter who probably thought that the worst thing about this day was the rain, but he should have changed his mind in a jiffy after what happened next. He nearly got struck by lightning. That was a close call. And to think about the cameraman who was carrying a metal box in his hand could have been a victim of this strike. But besides nature, even technology can be a source of distress for these poor reporters. For instance, look at these two who were nearly hit by a car while reporting.
And confusing situation.
And this other guy who got sprinkled by water while doing the job.
Максимально быстро, Илья, помазун, я становлюсь еще мокрее и мокрее. Давай продолжаешь. Красота!
Pizza is probably the universal comfort food. It just makes everyone happy. But maybe this guy making pizza makes the spectators a tad bit happier than all of us as he performs these incredible stunts with pizza dough. Have you ever tried spinning pizza dough? It's not an easy task, we must say. But with his expertise, we wonder if these amazing stunts make the pizza taste even better. Humans aren't the only species that feel cold. Almost all animals are capable of feeling it after certain limits are crossed. In fact, even inanimate objects are capable of feeling the freeze, like this poor parking barrier that's shivering from the freezing weather. We're starting to wonder what place is this, and how cold is it that even a pole made of metal got affected by it? Humanity has created some mind-boggling masterpieces of engineering throughout history, but in our opinion the greatest invention ever is the TV. But can the TV be of use on its own? We don't think so. For TVs to work, we need TV towers. We may not know much about them, but this man in the video is surely a pro. Why? Because it's his job to change the light bulbs on top of the towers, including this 1,500-foot long tower you can see in the footage. He must get paid a lot for a job that risky. All incredible things don't occur by chance. Some of these require years of extreme practice, like this act put up by the troop of people who probably dedicated their sweat and blood in making this routine perfect. The synchronicity is amazing here. What a spectacular show. We all have that one friend who loves showing off, and most often their magnificent trick is the same lame old backflip. But we can be sure no one will be able to surpass this guy in doing backflips. He can perform a series of backflips going downhill. We bet none of your show-off friends can actually beat this guy. Man, people do their jobs with utter dedication and honesty. However, this guy in the video is definitely not one of them. We can't tell what made him throw the package like this while the front door of the house was open ajar, but his customer service ethics need some serious polishing. He probably destroyed the computer monitor. Maybe he was angry at someone or something else and took it out on the poor monitor. Who doesn't like a 180-degree turn in the game, right? That's why we love sport. But guess what? You don't need the huge games and popular celebrity athletes to get a dose of these incredible sport surprises. You can always find something crazy unique happening during a kid's match too. Like this ball making its way straight to the kid's pocket. He probably got super excited by this. This museum in Japan features the ultimate carnival trick. They place a 12-kilogram solid gold bar worth $650,000 in a transparent box with a small hole in one side. The hole is nearly the size of an average man's forearm and is positioned higher up to make the positioning difficult for the player. Despite this difficulty, some extremely smart and calculative people have managed to beat the system. But unlucky for them, these geniuses don't get to keep the gold. Instead, the museum gives the winner a gold-plated card worth $40. Why even try for that, we say? We've all been the victim of this claw machine full of adorable goodies we want so badly, and the frustration that comes with this game. No matter how perfectly you play, the game just seems to be rigged against you. Even if you manage to get a nice toy, the claw gives out just before reaching the chute. It's possible to win, but why lose $50 to win a $2 prize? Some geniuses found a way around it, however, like this girl using magnets to manipulate the toy against the glass and get the prize so effortlessly. Besides the magnets, there are many other ways to beat the system with this claw machine. For example, look at these people who found a way into the box and got what they desired. This method might work well for both adults and children, as you can see in the footage. After getting fired from his job at the shoe store, this French man decided to dedicate his life to crafting elaborate pranks. Some of these invoked infiltrating famous sports teams, impersonating players, and inserting himself in the celebrations. He actually managed to join the winning dance party at the 2002 Coupe de France final. He cheered with the players and even got a handshake from the then French president, Jacques Chirac. But he made much greater waves when he infiltrated the 2015 Volleyball World Cup. He managed to descend into the court unnoticed, being dressed as a volleyballer, and joined the winning French team's photo. What a clever comic. In summer 2017, UK was hit with a crazy heatwave with record-breaking high temperatures since 1976. This prompted several boys at the Isker Academy in Devon to request that they be allowed to wear shorts to combat the heat. The teacher rejected the request on grounds that the shorts were against school policy, but this made the boys point out that the girls wore skirts. The teachers responded by saying that they could wear skirts if they wanted. Turns out the boys complied. Well, at least these 30 boys who turned up to school in their sisters' skirts to protest the policy. Even at its safest and nicest, nature demands a certain amount of respect and caution from human beings. That's because even the tiniest of plants are capable of poisoning you to death, and even the cutest of animals can inflict all kinds of damage on your person, especially when you're least expecting it. But we're unable to fathom why someone would so carelessly expose themselves to the nastiest of beasts to exist on the planet. Yes, this man broke all records of foolhardiness when he decided to indulge with alligators. For reasons we will probably never be able to wrap our heads around, this guy wanted to get closer to alligators, so he built himself an alligator suit in the hopes of being welcomed by them. He was pretty lucky that it worked out, because if he hadn't, he would have ended up as their food and not their friend.
Alligators on the bank? No, they're vulnerable. Their security is in the water.
Landscaping and lawn care is a pretty cool job for those who like to stay outside and the ones who like to stay fit, as it involves a lot of walking. It's quite exhausting work, but not for this guy who seems to be living in the year 3021. He figured out how to use his hoverboard in making his work easier, and probably also helped get it done in half the time. Kudos to him for thinking out of the box. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do tell us in the comments which of these crazy incidents is your favourite. We'll be back soon with another smashing video for you guys. Until then, have a great time.